Hi everybody, I'm John Barrett, ZKR, founder and CEO of ZKR Orthopedics. ZKR is addressing the millions of people who suffer from debilitating knee pain. Everyone knows somebody in this boat. We're trying to stop this complex surgery that I will discuss a little bit later. And for many of these people, the cause is what's called patellofemoral degeneration, chondromalacia. This is the bottom of the kneecap is wearing down, the cartilage is wearing down, and that's leading to pain, particularly when we run or climb stairs or kneel. And a lot of these folks will suffer with endless pain management, and that is anything, drugs, rehab, quad strengthening exercises. And for many, it just doesn't work. And they're in that world for a long time, years, and the pain gets worse, and they end up here, which is complex surgery. Knee replacements are the end of the line, but if you're 40 years old, you don't want a knee replacement. Osteotomies are another type of procedure that deals with patella realignment. I'll talk about that a little bit. Fulkerson is one of the many ways you can do osteotomies, and they really involve cutting bone, in this case the tibia, and moving the patella tendon attachment sideways or up and adding bone graft to take the pressure off the patella. It's a fairly complex surgery. You're on crutches for 6 weeks at least, 3 to 6 months recovery. But the success is pretty good. I mean, ultimately, you're trying to take away pain, and it does do that. It just takes a long time to get there, and there's a lot of pain associated with getting there. So we have decided to address that particular crowd and try to mimic the osteotomy procedures with a surgical solution called the patella lift procedure, implant-based solution. And this is going to be a minimally invasive surgery, 30 minutes max, surgery centers. And patients will be able to ambulate almost immediately. We're unloading the patellofemoral joint, much like the osteotomy procedure does. And we want to get to their results, but just do so immediately and not wait 3 to 6 months. This gives you a little bit of an animation of how it's done. It's a very simple procedure. 2 centimeter incision on the lateral side, and you slip in an implant and affix it with screws. And now it has lifted up the patella, and that's taking the pressure off that joint, and the inflammation will gradually disappear. So we've got multiple sizes, shapes for the implants, depending on anatomy. Here's the group of people that started this. Jeff Holbrook's a sports medicine surgeon in San Francisco that's been working on patellofemoral ideas for years, and it was his IP. I met him. I've had a previous orthopedic company where we started from scratch and eventually sold the company to Stryker. These are just a couple of advisors we have who are very well-known people in the orthopedic world, particularly in the knee world, Beth at HSS and Jack and Indy. So the market is large, of course. 15 million people, probably more, that are suffering from knee pain, going through conservative therapy right now. A lot of those don't get better. They move into this green area where they failed conservative therapy, and now they're looking for something else. In worst case, they move up into the complex surgery part of the pyramid where they get their total knees and they get osteotomies. So the green area, 20% of those roughly have isolated patellofemoral disease, so that's 1 million patients. So now, regulatory-wise, we're looking at a randomized clinical trial. We've been talking to the FDA about this. We'd like to submit for an IDE in the next couple of months, and we're going to support that with a feasibility trial we've been doing in Poland. I'll talk about that in a minute. From a reimbursement standpoint, there are lots of existing codes for patellofemoral adjustments, like the Fulkerson procedure and others, and we feel like we can utilize or operate in that world for a little while, but meanwhile we will look for our own reimbursement codes. This is some idea what these codes look like. So a physician could get $1,600 in payments for a 30-minute procedure, and $6,100 goes to the facility, potentially from Blue Shield, for a 30-minute outpatient procedure. Not bad. The Polish trial, we've got up to 20 patients allowed to do, one investigator, one site. And really, like any feasibility trial, we're trying to figure out, safety, design, patient selection, surgical technique, all these things that we have learned actually quite well in this trial. So we've enrolled 18 patients so far, mix of male and female, mean age of 42. So this is a younger crowd for sure, and that's why they want this implant, because they don't want to have a total knee. As young as 21, as old as 63. A range of disease states, 2 to 4 is just the way you look at cartilage degeneration, but probably more 3 to 4 actually. We're doing lots of imaging follow-up throughout the process here. The FDA wants to see what's going on with the patella tendon and some of the other structures in there. We're doing these what's called VAS surveys. This is how you measure pain, patient-reported outcome surveys. And so we already had 3 patients past a year, 11 have passed 6 months. This is kind of what's happening in the procedure. You can see pretty clearly what we're doing. On the left side is pre-op, and you can see how the patella is pretty close and rubbing on the femur. After our implant, which you can see the screws, you can't see the implant. You see the clear unloading of that joint, and this is kind of how every X-ray looks. So we feel pretty good about how it's behaving, at least biomechanically. Just a couple of our patients that are just up and around almost immediately back to their normal world. The guy on the right was our first patient. He's doing deep knee bends, and he's skiing, and he's running. He's doing everything he did, more than he did before surgery. So far, no device-related adverse events reported. Surgeries last, less than 30 minutes, and of course, it's more like 20 minutes now. Fully weight-bearing almost immediately. These 2 days they're walking around. We've got the first 14 all back to their regular activities. The last 4 were done more recently. We could have done 40 patients. Enrollment was a snap. People wanted this procedure. Just some idea what happened with VAS. So again, this will be one of our primary endpoints in a trial, and that is VAS is a scale of 1 to 100, 100 excruciating pain, 0 no pain. Pre-op, that's 67 on these patients, and then by the 3rd month, it was already down to 32. So 50% plus improvement in 3 months on VAS, which is incredibly significant. Most trials look for 30% improvement. So here's our timeline. We're going to complete enrollment and the 6-month follow-up for our trial, and that's going to happen soon, within weeks. And then we'll submit for an IDE within the next couple of months. Again, we've had several discussions about that study design with the FDA. Complete a Series A of roughly $10 million. We're in the middle of that now. We've got $3 to $4 million committed and looking to get the rest over the next few months. And then we're going to start the trial first part of next year, culminating in a submission for approval in 2025. Obviously, we've got patents, and we've got a bunch of other patents in process, really trying to protect the space as best we can. So overall, this is a big market, very big market, millions of patients, and there's no solution for these people. They're kind of stuck in this place where they're in pain, and they don't want to have a big surgery, and they're probably young, they're probably 40, and so we offer that solution. And these are going to be 90% gross margin products. A very easy surgery. Any surgeon's going to be able to do this. There's 8,000 knee surgeons in America. All of them should be able to do this procedure. And that's what I got. Thank you very much.